Hey guys, this is Adam here. Um, I've previously spoke about my first two stages of my bottom surgery, and in this one, I'm gonna talk about the last stage and final bottom surgery. So my last, let me just kind of explain what happened the first two surgeries. My first one, it was the phalloplasty. It was basically just taking a graft and constructing a phallus. There was nothing else done whatsoever. The second one, it was removal of all reproductive organs, connecting the pee pipes to the penis, and tucking in the T-penis. The third one was the device, testicles and the device. So for this one, again, it was in London. It was in a totally different hospital. Again, it wasn't one of the same any of the same hospitals I've visited before. It was near central London again, so that was good. It was a private hospital. It was quite nice. Um, Again, I was told I was gonna stay 2 nights, including the night I arrive on before the surgery. So that means I only spent 1 night after my surgery. So yeah, again, arrived around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. They took the tests and all of that. Everything that I've explained before. It's very yeah, it just happens every surgery. Um, yeah, I woke up early next day, and about 8 p.m. I was dozed off, and that was that was pretty much it. When I woke up in my room. I do not remember waking up in the transitioning room at all this time. So I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if they've kind of sorted me out from the surgery and just moved me to my room and I woke up there, or I maybe woke up in a transitioning room and fell back asleep. I'm not quite sure, but I don't really remember. It was fairly quick. I think it was like 3 hours, including the shaving and everything. Um, so yeah, it was just 3 hours. Um, and yeah, I think I had a lot of pain as well. It was actually quite sore. Didn't expect it to be that sore. I thought like the second stage was the most painful one of all of them, but I was kind of wrong. I think the third one was quite close to what happened the second time. It was quite painful. I felt like really stretched out down there, and it's understandable, obviously, because it's a bit of skin. They kind of squeeze ball in, and oh yeah, regarding this, the size of the testicle. So they can offer you, do you want, if you want the small size or the big size. I chose the small size, and the small size is good. I think it's average. It looks pretty normal, and I'm really pleased. I'm glad that I didn't choose the big one. I don't think I would have coped so well with the big one. So yeah, I had this silicone sort of type of ball testicle in the left side, and the right side I had the device where the pump is, and yeah, and it's connected. When I woke up, I had a catheter in through the penis, um, and that was left, and I was taken off before I left. So I was again pretty tired, pretty sore. Took loads of painkillers, slept. Woke up the next day, early morning. I had to leave like super early next day because I had transport booked, and I like learning from my first two stages. I was hanging around a lot. I was booking my transport very late, and I learned that was really wrong. That was wrong. I think what worked really well, that as soon as I leave the hospital, I go to transport, because I don't want to waste any energy floating around in London trying to kill time until my transport. That just didn't work. I mean, if I was healthy and able to walk and stuff, I probably would have liked to spend some time outside, walking and stuff, but considering that I just had a big surgery, it doesn't work. So I left the hospital about 7 a.m. breakfast before everything. Um, and yeah, I took my transport, and at this time I did not fly to Scotland. I took the bus, and it was long, but I think it was okay. I mean, if once I managed to fall asleep, it's all okay. But I think the most painful part of it was sitting down. So I didn't think sitting down was going to be much of a problem with the third stage, but it's actually pretty painful. It's pretty painful, and I really wish I took a pillow with me. You know, one of those pillows that is just kind of a circle, it's a round, and it's got a hole in the middle. I wish I've got one of those ones because I think it would have helped a lot, but I didn't. And yeah, I think it would have helped. But yeah, eventually I was home. You know, it's fine. It's just a bit of discomfort, a bit of pain, but you know, you go through it, and it just all seems like nothing once you've gone through it. So yeah, I was off work for around 4 weeks. So they said that recovery time is 3 weeks, and I think I took just over 4 weeks, and that was because of the pain. It was actually very painful. It was really hard for me to walk. But that wasn't mainly because of the testicles. It was because of my side and my back, and I think it was sciatic nerve that was bothering me, and I'm not sure why, but after surgery that started to hurt really, really bad, and I think that's what made sitting down even harder than it should have been. And I got actually really worried because I thought, you know, the surgery triggered a nerve or something, I trapped a nerve or something that was gonna make my life a living hell for the rest of my life. Um, and you know, I did have this pain for about 2 months. Even when I started being active and everything, I kept having it. But it thankfully disappeared. Every now and then I do get it, but nothing a stretch and a good exercise, a good workout can you know help. So it's not really bothering me anymore. And walking also at the time after surgery was pretty painful because of the testicles. So when I stand up for like more than a minute, I will start to really feel the pain of my, like, the heaviness of them, or maybe not heavy, but just I think because of the stretched out the skin, it was a new weight as well to this part. So it was, yeah, it was still, all of it was pretty tender and pretty sore. So I couldn't walk, I couldn't stand up for a long time, I couldn't sit down for a long time either. It was kind of a difficult time. And yeah, I should have went back to work about 3 weeks, but yeah, I just ended up taking another week or 10 days because of the pain. So what happens after surgery, that when you leave, your penis, your phallus is gonna be, well, in my case anyway, with the London team, the penis was pumped up a little bit because you know, you're not allowed to unpump it until a week after surgery. So I was actually asked to go down to London from Scotland, where I live, to go down a week after my surgery for them to, you know, to unpump the penis so it goes back, you know, to normal. Because of the pain that I was going through, and because I really didn't fancy, you know, traveling to London for an appointment that wouldn't take more than half an hour to have this journey back. You know, I wasn't really in a good place mentally, physically. I was like, no. I was like, you know, it's fine. They said that the doctor was coming to Scotland in a couple of weeks' time, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'll just wait. So I ended up waiting 3 weeks in total, with the phallus slightly pumped up. During this time, however, I was actually trying to unpump it by myself because I thought, you know, that's the only thing you're gonna do. I reckon I can do it by myself. So I was like, you know, watched YouTube videos and tried to read about it, but it was actually pretty hard. I mean, you get videos talking about how they unpump it, like with how where to press the button. And I just, God, I didn't know where that was. I was like looking, I was really looking for days. And I think a week after looking, I just kind of gave up and said, I'll just wait for them when I see the doctor. But actually turned out to be pretty easy. It was, so in case you do go through what I went through, and you just wanted to do it yourself and get it over with, because maybe it's a long drive or it's a long trip, so you just want to do it yourself and get it over with. And in no way I'm advising you to do that, but this is what I did. If you have watched my the previous two videos, I did things kind of my own way. With a lot of things, actually, I did it my own way. And personally, I have no regrets. I don't advise anyone to follow my steps, because I, again, do things based on my observation, and I know my body and I know how I feel. And it's kind of risks that I take, but so I don't advise anyone to follow the same steps. But just to say, where is that button and the pump? Because I think it's important to know. For whatever reason, I think it's important to know, because it was really hard to get some information on YouTube. So I had the device on my right side, and basically there is at the very end where it's shaped like a ball, like a testicle, and there is something that is really, really, really hard. And I didn't know where that was, but actually I realized that is the pump. But the first pump is really, really hard. You gotta have like some force to click it in, to kind of like, I don't know, it's like any toy or anything that anything that you're doing for the first time. It's harder than before. It's like your first jeans. They're tighter than a few weeks later. No, yeah. So it was kind of like that. The first squeeze was the hardest of them all. But obviously you don't want to squeeze it, because if you squeeze it, you're gonna pump it higher, and you want to get it down. So to get it down, depending on how it's positioned, but this, you gotta kind of feel and see where it is. But there is a really tiny circular button, and hopefully, most likely, it's on your right side, or maybe it's on the top. It would be very unlikely to be on the left, tucked between the two testicles, or on the bottom. Could be on the bottom, I'm not sure, but mine was on the right. And the way this happens is that you have to, like I get it, and I hold it. So let's say it's here, right? And I hold it, but you can't just do it like that. You have to have your two hands, so you hold from the other side and on the button here, and you squeeze with both fingers. And if you just don't just click once, no, click on it and hold. And by holding, you're gonna put it down. You're gonna suck the air, and you're gonna put it down. You're just gonna keep pressing, and you'll hear it, and you'll feel it, and you'll see it obviously going down. But yeah, so for the first week, you're not allowed to touch anything. You're not allowed to pump it or unpump it or do anything at all. You're just meant to leave it. And when you see your doctors and they're gonna like put it down, then they will ask you to practice, basically to practice putting it up and down, up to the maximum, because it can go up, but it's not really the maximum. And it's hard. I would say at the start it's a bit of a struggle. You cannot like really go hard. It's not like and that's, you're done in a few seconds. At the start it kind of takes a while. So I would advise that you practice, because when you want to have sex, you don't want to be like, oh, hang on, and do it. Take 5 minutes to pump it up. You really don't want that. So yeah, do practice. And practice to have it like as high and as hard as it gets, because the harder it gets, the harder the phallus gets, the harder it is to squeeze this thing. But you just keep going at it, because it does, you can squeeze more, you can go more. You just need to need to practice that. So Again, I didn't do anything for 3 weeks because I waited on them until they come back here. I mean, I did try to find this bloody button, but I just couldn't find it. Well, I did find it. I just didn't think that was it, um, because I didn't. I clicked on it, but I didn't do anything, and I didn't realize that I had to press on it for a long time. So this is the kind of information that you can really find on internet. So yeah, anyway, I met with Dr. Christopher, and by the way, he wasn't the one. So if you remember from my past videos, he was the doctor that was meant to do all my surgeries, but actually because he was the doctor I had my consultation with, and we communicate everything with each other. He was the one who did my first surgery, my phalloplasty, the graft and everything, but I never really saw him again. And the second time, as I mentioned in my previous surgery, they never told me it wasn't gonna be Dr. Christopher. But the third time, they did actually say that it was going to be a different doctor, and I can't remember the doctor's name. It was a third doctor that I've never seen before, but I was pretty desperate to have surgery because they well, they did not promise, but they said that I should be likely to have it after, within 6 months after the second stage. And I was offered a date after 6 months, but that date did not work well with my work. So I had to postpone it. So I ended up having the surgery a year after my second stage. So yeah, I was really pretty anxious to have surgery, and I didn't want to wait anymore. I just wanted to get it over with. I was really anxious to get my last surgery over and done with, because the waiting, the anticipation, I think, is the worst part of it. So yeah, I went with a new doctor, and I mean, it was fine. I don't, it worked well. I didn't have any trouble. He was friendly and all, and I just saw him for like 10 minutes before my surgery. So, I have no comments on that. Um, and yeah, so I saw them. They showed me. Dr. Christopher showed me how to unpump it and everything, and they said I can't have sex for 6 weeks. I only need to practice, but I can't use it. If I use it earlier than that, it would be bad. I was like, right, okay, that's fine, that's okay. So yeah, I waited, and 6 weeks have passed, and I was like, right, okay, this is, let's do it. And yeah, it worked. It was definitely something that I have never tried before. Um, and I definitely waited for a long time. But yeah, it was pretty good. But again, I would really advise you to practice, because I didn't practice a lot, so it's pretty hard for me to get it what I need it to be on that night. So it's pretty awkward. So, yeah, do your work. Um, and yeah, I think that's pretty much the journey I've been through with my 3 surgeries. I've kind of had lengthy videos, and I would apologize, but I don't think I should, because details are needed. Those details that I am given, these are the things I wished I've known. Because again, not a lot is going online right now. So yeah, I really hope that this is helpful to anyone, and if you still have any questions about something that I haven't mentioned or forgot to talk about, just please, just get in touch and let me know what it is, and I'll try to answer your question as best as I can. But for now, thanks for watching.